Got my Bluetooth on. Alright, so basically it's gonna be a quick one. Yeah, man. Just thinking about some stuff. Actually, me and my wife finna go over this review tonight as far as with our mortgage and get some things squared away, and we're gonna start killing the payments on the house. The way we got it designed, well, pretty much me designed it. She just going with the blueprint. We're gonna be paying down the mortgage pretty quick, and we're gonna get halfway in before we start looking at buying our other property. Weighing options. I got inspired by the lady that actually she ended up buying a crib. She bought one for about $300,000. Then she came back, refinanced it, hit it for about like a little bit close to 450 or 5. The money she got from there, bought her first duplex, and from the duplex she was able to I think get a triplex, and from the triplex she got like 6 units. And the way she kept doing was refinancing, updating, and stuff like that. And of course, to a degree, it was in her favor to start off with the 2,000 and buy the property. And ultimately came down to the last property, I think the one with the 6 units. Like, she ended up going FHA with the 6 units. So she was able to stay in that property and, don't have to pay no rent. And with her being a single lady, it's possible. And like I said, for the first two, well, actually the first one, that's what got her the most amount of money. Then going into the second one, of course you got to put down your 20%. Unless you go FHA, then you got to stay in it. But she just kept going, dropping the 20%. And then I think, what was it, to a degree, the way she did it, she didn't ever drop 20. The first one, she went and, I think did the 20, then went on ahead and bought it off. I gotta look back at the video, but mainly the other one, she was just putting down 10%. So she didn't have to come with 20, it was always 10%. So after that first deal, she had got over 150 to 200,000. She was able to take that off that first deal of refinancing, having tenants stay in that property while she went and looked for the duplex. The duplex, she went and put 10% down on the duplex, and then had tenants staying in that, and then shot over and got the triplex, which is 3 units, and had tenants staying in that. Now the last one, it was a little more expensive, so that's why she went for the FHA. And for people, I'm sorry, it was 4 units, because FHA only allows 4 units, so that's what it was. I'm thinking about another story related. She bought like a mini apartment, but basically she went FHA on the last unit, and with her going FHA, you have to stay in the property if you go FHA. So when she went FHA, she was able to, light is not that bright. So she was able to stay in the property, 1 unit, and rent the other 3 out. So it was still a win. And then after the first year, you're able to move out of the property and then turn around and rent that unit out. So in total, she had 7, 9, so basically 10. All right? Yeah, because 4, 3 is 7. Add 2 to that is 9. Yeah. Yeah, so she had 10 properties in all. She was getting rent from. And that's a cool thing. I'm actually in the car. Y'all can't see me. See that teeth down, don't you? Yeah. Yep. Can't even see my eyes, but see the teeth. This looks so scary looking at this video, bro. Yeah, man. But back to the darkness. Yeah. So basically, I'm looking at that, and me and my wife looking at our plans and stuff. And so that's the number one thing we're gonna do. Is go ahead and start upping the ante, because, like I told y'all, it's a friendly wager type deal with me and my friend. He has about 4 houses. So I told him I got to get to his level. So with me getting to his level, it's more of a friendly thing, not a competition. You know, well, you say friendly competition as well. But, you know, this is friendly. This is not no spiting. I don't hate him. I don't want to kick him in the head. I don't want to wish that he lose all his property and burn, going crazy. None of that stuff, you know. Shout out to everybody coming in. Tom, man, what's going on with you, man? I haven't seen you in a minute. Man, this must be jumping. That's what I got going on here. This joker will show the chat and they'll jump off. Conscious, what's going on? Panama, what's going on? But yeah, when it comes to that, you know, that's the thing. I'm looking at, like, man, trying to get me another crib. Then I rent this one out. And then I just got into some contact with some people. They were talking about renting to traveling nurses. So I can get to the point where I can rent to traveling nurses. That'll be a plus too, because the big thing is when you rent to traveling nurses, you know, they pretty much have like 1 or 2 stayed up. So you already have, you know, it's guaranteed. And then with them, they pay a little extra because they get a per diem, so they try to go for like the best deal to where they can put money in their pocket. So if I know on average, you know, talking to people, because my wife, she has family members that are traveling nurses and stuff, and then I know other women that are nurses, so I can get a good price range. So when we start doing the houses for the prices, I know those will be guaranteed. You know, even with the Airbnb, I've talked to people that did Airbnb month to month, just like an apartment, you know. And that's the thing too I can look at, because with me doing it myself, I will have no overhead. Like, the biggest thing for me to do is actually finding some, you know, viable people that's real cool and won't tear my stuff up, put them on contract. Otherwise, I go through like an Airbnb app. I'll be paying them a little more in my pocket, but at the same time, my stuff is secured. I got credit cards, all this stuff that read the terms of agreement, which you could do yourself. You know, all it takes is a little elbow grease and picking up some books and reading up some contracts. And a lot of times, man, people, you just don't do your homework. You literally can go on Google and type in templates. And templates for everything. Templates for saving money, templates for business, templates for contracts. And find contracts, simple contracts. You can actually pay somebody to do it, but a lot of this stuff is templates. A lot of time it's just wording. You know, you want to have certain things, you can be indirect or you can be direct. That's what a lot of times they have these terms of agreement where you sign on to these websites and stuff. We don't know. I've listened to Joe Rogan talk about this all the time. And sometimes I actually went in, what's going on, guys? And I've actually went in and came back and started looking at these terms. Because I'm like, that's why I even downloaded TikTok on my phone. He was like, TikTok is one of the worst apps compared to, I mean, it's cool because you do all the dancing and connecting to other platforms. TikTok is one of the biggest ones that can get you TikTok famous now. You know, you ain't never heard nobody say you're gonna be Instagram famous. You say you're an Instagram influencer. You ain't never heard nobody. To a degree, some people say YouTube famous, but TikTok is the you're gonna be TikTok famous. So the more you start looking at contracts, terms of agreement, that stuff matters, man. Conscious was had on his channel, and we was talking about that over there, where Google has to pay so much money to each state because they were spying on the people. They were using, even though you would turn off that you don't want your location shared, you use Google Map. Every time you use Google Map, you're giving them the right to pull your locations, but not to share. So there's loopholes around it. If you sign in the Google Map, you're giving them, information to share. I literally have it on my phone now with my Google. And if you don't believe this, everybody try this one day when you on Google. Get on your Google, and I think it's either at the top or at the bottom, or it comes in those little dots or whatever. I was on there one time. I actually looked up, no joke, every single place I've been using my Google Map or when I was driving. I'm talking about, you talking about something. What's going on, Ray? You talking about something crazy? When I was driving trucks, I drove some trucks for one of my friends for Amazon. He was short of drivers. That thing showed me leaving Georgia, going down into what was it? What the first place I went to? I went to Montgomery. Left Montgomery, went up to it's funny that people don't believe this, Alabaster. When I remember Ricky Smiley used to always talk about Alabaster, I didn't know Alabaster was a place. I thought he was just making a joke of a fake city in Alabama. They got it there. Then I went over to Birmingham. What is it? It wasn't Pale City. It's a small city outside of Birmingham that's there too. I forgot. I went over to that spot. Who is this? Cool J. What's going on? So when I looked, I was like, man, this thing literally tracked everywhere I went. Go to your Google Map one time. Don't type in the address. Go like to the settings and just move it around. It'll show you every location you went to. So if you ever get in any crime, that's the number one thing. A lot of times they don't have to pull the phone records. You can show them right then and there. Look, how could I have been there with my phone? My phone shows this, even though they're gonna need more proof, but still, that's one of the ways to kind of show that you're, in these alleged activities where some people get caught up in. And then another thing too is, I'm all in with it. It's supposed to be a quick one, but yeah, man, they can go into all that stuff. But basically, like I said, looking at that video, they got me start thinking how I'm gonna go ahead and make my next move into, getting this real estate game up. And like I always talk about, doing real estate. Like I always talking about, getting to the money. Even with my job now, I think I'm about time to go ahead and leave this job. Me and Gold Professor been talking about this job for the longest. They end up giving me a raise. I kind of conned them out of a raise because I came to them and I told them, I said, man, I need more money. If you want to do this and that, man, give me some more money and I'll do more work. Once they gave me more money, I stopped doing more work. I told them, it's not efficient for me because of the taxes. I'm burning, like, if I put in an extra 5 hours a day doing extra work, the taxes eating that up. So I say, what's the use of doing it? I can go do something else and get 2 separate paychecks, which I won't be taxed as hard, because my whole thing is I try not to give them money. I try not to let them take so much from me, but at the same time, don't give them so much to where I just about break even. I don't mind paying the IRS like $102, and I don't mind them giving me $102 check. See, most people look for the taxes, like, man, I'm trying to get this $3,000 income tax, this $5,000, $80,000. The biggest thing is you want to keep money in your pocket. Why give the government money to go to the international banks where they can get 14% interest off your money. And then when they come back and give it to you, they don't give you the interest. I seen a clip online. I think me and Alonzo, he sent me one, to where there was this lady, she went to the bank, gave the bank $5,000, and next thing you know, another lady walks up and say, well, I want a $5,000 loan. And so the lady, gets the $5,000 loan. 12 months roll around, the lady comes back and she said, I think I'm gonna close my account, or I think I'm just gonna take that $5,000 out, whatever. She said, sure. Here's your 0.5% interest. And they was like, dang, 0.5% interest. Oh well. Then another lady who got that loan actually 12 months ago, she comes back in and she say, I finally paid my loan in full. She's like, whew, that 10% interest y'all gave me on that 5,000 is kind of steep. And the lady looks over and say, hold on, y'all gave me, what's going on, Bunny Rose? And the lady goes, y'all literally give me point five interest, and the same money I gave y'all 12 months ago, y'all actually loaned it to her that same month, and y'all charged her 7. I mean, y'all charged her 10. And they was like, well, the bank has to make a profit off of it. Even if it's your money, that's why the bank only could do so many loans and do so many this and that, because they can't have so much money out just in case majority of people wants to get their money back out the bank. So they have to loan a little bit to where they can make their money, but they also have to have money on, staff to, give the people that need it. And then, of course, when it comes down to it, you got thousands and thousands of customers. All thousands of customers is not coming to get their money all at one time. So that's no for thought. Look at that. Preferably start putting your money in, people will say, in my opinion, I always say go put your money in the universal life insurance. But also looking at credit unions. Credit unions give a lot more money than the banks do sometimes, but the biggest thing is not really putting so much in. Have money aside for savings, rainy day. Like I said, I've bought different things to where if anything push come to shove, I can sell merchandise. I got tools for sale. I got certain things where I can make money. I mean, offer up, like before there was offer up, there was always eBay. People will have stuff that they don't use no more and sell it to make a profit. I have tons of things I can sell to make money. I had one of my cousins. He was big on that. He was in the storage war business. Now they have those storage wars. He was into that. So he would go and buy a storage unit. Because one time he told me he did. He bought a storage unit. I think he paid like $350 for the storage unit. Had a couple of little sofas and pictures and stuff. Wasn't nothing spectacular. So they didn't run it up. He bought it for $350. Soon as the lady came in there, and she was like, "Yeah, man, I got the money to pay for my storage unit. I'm gonna go ahead and get it." They was like, "Ma'am, it's already on the auction block. We finna get rid of it." The first thing the lady said was, "Where are all my TVs at?" Sorry about that. But the people at the storage unit, they literally came in, took all the TVs out before they put it on the auction. So believe it or not, some people, they say that they don't, but they do. Before they put that on auction, some of those people that work there will go through that stuff, get whatever they want that's visible or, to the naked eye can see. Other than that, it's all going for auction. So he was able to buy stuff like that and sell it. I remember one time he was in a bad pitch. He sold everything in the house but the kids' bed. He sold their bed because they slept on the sofa. It was the kids' bed, the sofa, and about 2 TVs. The kids' bed, the sofa, 2 TVs. He sold all that, and everybody thought he was crazy. Hit a couple of units. refurnished the thing with even better stuff, and he was still walking around with tons of money. So, I've seen him do that. So I'm like, hey man, it don't hurt to have stuff I don't need, but I need at one point. I bought a inverter. Shout out to Aunt T. He was talking about that on his panel about when hurricanes and come down there. My brother was telling me about tornadoes. So I went and bought an inverter. It's quieter than a generator, and it still gets the job done. It's good wattage. How about that? I got firewood. I got camping stuff. I bought shelves to place all this stuff for like canned goods, tissue, paper towels, water bottles, stuff like that. Just stockpile type stuff. If nothing ever happens, I kind of start trying to rotate the stuff out because I did it like during 2020, and at the end of the year I didn't rotate it. So going into 2022, I just so happened to go down there because I had piled up so much junk in front of it and stuff. And so I was like, oh man, I forgot about getting that stuff over there. Went over there. The sauces were dead. Like the sauces were old. The canned goods were good, but depending on some of them. Some of the canned goods were good, but I just went in and started restocking. That's like water bottles. Guy was laughing because I said, I got these old water bottles. And they was like, the water bottles, technically the bottle is old. The water is still good. So when you have an expiration date on the water, that's for the bottle. That's not actually for the water going bad. Like if water went bad, we'll all be in trouble. But that's for the bottle. And I was like, you see the born on date or whatever, the dates of expiration. That's all the first thing you think. So I mean, it's good to know. But the thing is, it gets you thinking like, wow, how water can spoil or how water can go bad. And that was always one of the things I sit there and looked at, and it was just funny. But basically, like I said, I'm gonna start doing some more stuff about finance. I'm actually gonna probably start trying to do some pre-records because I need to get to a laptop and get some stuff straight, or possibly hit my tablet in the morning. I be forgetting my tablets in the morning when I go to work because when I get to work, I can actually do a little slideshow at work with my tablet and everything. But just got home, finna go ahead and run in here with these boys. Hit the schoolwork with them because they killing me. One of them is so behind in math, man. Like every year, this dude, his brain just resets. So I'm like, I got to get on him about that, about all these books. I work with him. Now I got to go ahead and get this tutor back again because he's starting to go up and down in math again. But I mean, it helps. I mean, the thing of it is, my whole thing, like I always tell my kids, if I do everything in all my power, what it takes for you to get a good grade or be successful in life, the least thing you can do is try. You know, I know every child ain't gonna be a genius. I know every child ain't gonna be good in every single subject, but the point of it is you have to try. And I was just telling my wife there's two sayings that, I always go by. Faith without work is dead. It's in the Bible. You can pray to end and everything, but without putting in that work, all things are not possible through Christ. And a lot of people fail to realize that. They just about get on their knees and pray every night for, forgiveness. They always pray every night for a better job. If you don't get up and go out there and sharpen your skills, build your resume, heck, even go and put in the application. There's some things like that people say, well, this person get all the luck in the world. But you never know how they move. You never know their lineage of their life. Like their parents went through a struggle just so they can get blessed. Some people, their parents have went through the fire to get all the blessings. Back in the day, that's what every single person I started looking into the Bible, all of them wanted to inherit the blessings to their kids. That's how much of a sacrifice. Man, I was looking at this one guy, and I'm going to go ahead and probably jump off this too after I say my second quote. This guy was saying, do you like time or money? Because what if I was to give you $1 million a day but you got to die tomorrow. Would you take that million? People said no. I told my wife, I said, crazy. I said, yeah. And she was like, why? But you would die. I was like, don't you know what $1 million can do for you and the kids? I say that's my goal in life is to, have my family, be in a better place. I know a lot of guys gonna be like, oh, that's crazy. You gotta understand, man, you live your life to a degree, like you get happy. There's certain things, certain joys that get you happy. One, it was a guy, I'm going in these stories. I had a partner, man. This guy, he got a good job, two young boys, and a wife. He was like, man, my life is perfect. I can't ask for nothing better. And I stopped him. I was like, what you mean your life perfect? I'm like, dude, working at this job, working hard. Like, man, yeah, you making money. Like, we making money. But the point of it is, it's a hard job moving furniture. But he was like, I'm happy though. I know. He's like, I'm content of where my life is because I get to provide for my family. I have an excellent wife. He's like, most people don't even have that. You know how many people not married? You know how many people don't have nobody they can lean on? And I looked at, I said, dang, you right, man. I'm looking at more at the material and, just not looking at the pursuit of happiness. I was like, but you right. And that's the thing, some people have different morals, some people have different ways in life. My thing, like I always tell my wife, if she ever mess up the money, I'm just gonna hunt her, man. I'm just gonna come out back as a ghost and hunt her. But with things in play, it won't never happen, pretty much, because that's the whole point of having wills. That's the point of having trust. You have contracts, all these things set up to where if you think somebody gonna drop the bag, you put things in place so they won't. And even if you know that they won't, you put things in place to secure whatever type of legacy or anything that you want. And one of the last, I'm gonna end with this other quote that I always say, you know, what's in the dark always come to the light because you can't stop the sun from shining. And that's one of the things that I always live by too. Through all the rough times, man, it's a brighter light, man. You gotta go for it. You gotta go towards the light. You gotta, make things better. Stuff is already hard as it is. And the more you keep piling on, bad vibes, the more you keep piling on, stuff that hurts you, get to you, it's only gonna get worse. Guarantee. People say, well, it get bad before it get better. No, it can get worser. The worst this. The worst this. At it again, media, what's going on? It can get worse this. You know, gotta hit you with the stages of worse. Worster. Worse, just messing around. What's going on, Bruce? But yeah, it can get even bad, but you gotta understand, it can get bad out here, but it can get even worse. And it could even get even worse than that. People always talk about how they had it bad in their childhood till you find a person that had it worse than you. You know, I've listened to stories where, girls and boys have their innocence taken at a young age. They get lost in this world. They got parents that don't care about them. You got kids that, basically pretty much raise themselves, you know, and you have people that, like live in the suburbs, nice area, nice hood, but man, you have some of the worst parents. Childish. Don't think of nothing for their kids, you know, and it comes to a degree where it's like, man, when is the light gonna ever shine? But the point of it is, you have to be optimistic about things. You have to look at the brightness for yourself because you got to look at this. Nobody's not going to be there for you. Nobody's not going to implement anything to help you if you don't do for yourself. And that goes back to the first one, the first quote that I gave you. Faith without work is dead. You got to put in that work for yourself. There was this guy, he was homeless. At the tender age of, I would say, 6 weeks, mom had the baby, wrapped him up, put them on the steps of a firehouse. That was big back in the day when girls didn't want their kids, drop them off at the fire station. Fire station, they get the baby, take them to the hospital. Baby goes into foster care. Dude went into foster care, and his whole thing was to be better. Ended up started a tech company. Never got adopted. Fostered out at 18. Ended up going to community college. You know, he kept that mindset. You know how hard it is. Like you literally have no family. Holidays come. This guy didn't spend no holidays with nobody but the family that he made at the shelter. And to a degree, they're in and out. Some of these kids get adopted. The ones that don't get adopted, they stay in there or they hit the system. And when you hit the system, you start acting bad, you're going to juvenile. Guy stayed a narrow path all the way till he graduated high school, end up going to a community college, end up graduating, went to a 4-year college, university, got himself together, started up, working for people, started up a tech firm as he's working for another company. Ended up having garnering one of these big contracts because he started being good at what he can do, you know. And that goes back to Dr. Dunbar. We always talk about this. Making your 9 to 5 work, but then getting off and working your 5 to 9. See, a lot of people thinking that, man, I do this one job, I'm good. How many people become successful at what they do by only doing one thing at a time? You go work this job and that's it. You can become rich doing that. You can become rich just only working one job. You dedicate yourself to that one job. You put all your ducks in there. You go for it. That's a slow pace. Sometimes, even being a doctor, even being, a lawyer, even become partner. You know how long it takes most people to become a partner? You know how long it takes for people to start their own firm as a lawyer or as a doctor, being like top ranking of the, most of these people have so much student loan to pay back. It's crazy. I was listening to Dave Ramsey. This dude failed the medical test to become a doctor literally 3 times. He had enough credits to become a teacher. He became a science teacher and he's still studying to take the test again. I'm like, what dedication to do that? What's going on, Lonzo? And I'm like, what dedication for this guy failing the medical exam 3 times and still coming back trying to take this test again. What dedication? And when it get to some people, man, you just got to understand. It's like, what are you looking for in life? What are you trying to do? That's why I say words of wisdom live by, man. Everybody got to have something they stand on. Once time I talked to this Muslim guy. He told me my name Rashid means righteous man, and that kind of stuck with me as I was moving in life to kind of build myself up in a better path and a better way in life. And like I said, throughout life, those 2 quotes stuck with me all through going to church every time. Faith without work is there. I seen so many people pray about everything, but then they get off their knees and go back and do the same stuff that they've been doing. And it's like, you're not putting in the work. How can you be blessed by not putting in the work? Well, this guy always get it easy. That's the thing. That's not your life. I was just telling my wife this. I had a partner, he always said, this is my year. This my year. This my year. Every time he said that at the beginning of the year, going into around by his birthday, something always happened, whether he had money, something in the family, something just went crazy with him. I told him, I said, bro, stop saying that every time. He's like, but such and such says. I'm like, that's him. That's not you. You're different than him. That's what he says, so stop saying it. The moment he stopped saying it, guess what happened? Nothing bad happened to him. This guy had just good luck. And I told him it probably wasn't even just that. It just you was so caught up on worshiping this is your year that everything was gonna go right. Everything started going wrong. Crazy. And like I said, my other one, can't stop the sun from shining, man. That's the thing. You're always gonna have dark clouds. You're always gonna have, days that are not so bright, they're gloomy. But the point of it is, it's the best, man, whatever you make of it. If it's raining outside, man, it's been plenty of times. It done rain all day. I put my tent up. I barbecued outside with the rain in the tent. I'm like, man, you gotta eat. Hungry. Want some barbecue. That smoke start rising up. I just take the little tent, pop it up even higher, let that smoke come out. One time I ended up messing up my tent because I cut a hole at the top of it, and one of my crazy brothers, he ended up, instead of him doing like I told him to pop the tent up the right way, he didn't want to do it anyway. So I was hot outside. I didn't want to cook out there in all that heat. So I put the little pop up tent. Man, the part that was messed up, he bent it somehow and ended up cutting a bigger hole at the top where I, punched that little hole at to let the smoke come out. So I just threw it away. Mad about it. I'm like, bump it. Could have got my tarp, put the tarp up there. I was like, nah, bump it. But the point of it was, man, I didn't let it ruin my day. Still grew, I had a good time. It's stuff that happens all the time. I try to not let it worry to me too much because I'm looking at other people have days worse than mine. Some people, man, can't even get out of bed, like hurting in pain. Some people have illness that they just can't get away, you know, and it's just like, man, life is better, man. Life can be even more better if we all just tried more, man, did what we need to do and keep going on. But, like I say, man, this another one. Oh, hey, Bunny. See, that's what we're gonna do regular because we was thinking about doing something different, but every time we do this, like with the different holidays, like this Thanksgiving we did the seafood. So for Thanksgiving we're going over her aunt's house, my wife's aunt house, and we're gonna do the just traditional Christmas food and stuff like that. Plus I missed out on her grandma. I like seeing her because she's older. She's like 92, 93. And so basically we always try to have good tidies and everybody be around her because she's so old. Just seeing the family all the time bring her so much joy. But yeah, we've done that before. We grill for Christmas. We have grilled for Christmas. It was good. I told you the first time I ever did that, I was in high school. My aunt called me over there, told me to come over there for Thanksgiving because she had a little incident. I think she wanted me to handle, and she didn't let me know till I got over there. It's just she stayed in apartments, and it was a drunk dude. I always used to banging on her door, so I opened the door and I told dude, I was like, "Hey man, what's up with you?" And I was a big kid from my, in high school and stuff like that. I wasn't that big because I used to wrestle, but out of wrestling season, I was big. And so basically the dudes, oh man, Tanya, hey man, Tanya, man, my aunt been staying here for 3 years. No, Tanya don't stay here. You need to go ahead and go where you're going. And so, never had no problem out of them again. But yeah, man, we grilled out for Thanksgiving, man. I mean, for Christmas that year, my aunt made some ribs, made chicken, sausage, hamburgers, hot dogs, baked beans, what was it, coleslaw, macaroni and cheese, and collard greens. Of course, you always had it nice on the holidays. Potato salad and all. My grandma, she made the best potato salad, so she always made potato salad for everybody, whether it been at church, anybody in the family. She's like the potato salad connoisseur, all that. She know how to do the salad with the raisins and all that, the salad with the grapes. And I'm like, she do it with the red potatoes. She do it with the no eggs, the southern with the eggs and all that. You make the devil egg potatoes. Like we make the small potatoes, chop them up pretty thin. Then you get big chunks of eggs in there. And I think she said something about the devil egg potato salad or something. They had all kind of names. I'm like, my girl, anytime somebody came to my grandma asked her, did she know how to make this potato salad? She know how to make it. And I was like, man, that's some country stuff right there. But hey, my grandma's from the country, man, from the country. But yeah, man, this turned into a long script. I was trying to make it no more than about 20 minutes. But getting on these topics and everything. But yeah, man, like I said, go start looking at some templates, man, for like this going into the new year. Plan your stuff now because the new year will be here before you know it. That's how every year majority of the people get caught slipping. You always say, I'm going to hit this New Year's resolution. You ain't got nothing written down. You ain't got nothing planned. You ain't bought nothing to solidify this plan. None of this stuff. All these people who wait till the first to start working out, why not now? I got, all my little workout stuff. Finna go in here now, man. I ain't finna do a lot, but man, I'm finna go ahead and hit these calisthenics. I got this medicine ball. Finna go ahead and do my sit-ups with medicine ball. I have this little Body by Jake on the door. Man, these things are cheap. Like, even if you don't get the medicine ball, the little Body by Jake system, I think they running like Ross has them. No, what is it? Ross or TJ Maxx. Ross, I see them sometimes, but TJ Maxx has them where you have the little kit. It's like a little rope. You hang it on your door and you close the door. Then you have the arm press. You have three strings, three retention bands that you clip to like a little handle, and you just pull using muscle. A lot of people think, and I've told my wife this when she go to the gym, stop trying to lift heavy. Do more reps with light weights. Shout out to Big Duke, fourth quarter talk. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Duke, fourth quarter talk. A lot of people need to go check out his channel. I've learned a lot from him. He's a, body bit. Man, he lift weights. He know what he doing. He ain't gonna teach you no. Even when him and Bruce be over there going through the motions, underrated. He be getting on underrated because underrated. He said underrated is a walking machine. Underrated darkness is a walking machine. Panama too. She be over there doing her thing. But this is the main thing. I got that in the house. It don't cost me nothing to go in there and do about 5 reps. I can get the kids interested in it by doing it. Kids, they motivated. They ready. They going to be hitting your daddy. You ain't did your push-ups today. Daddy, you ain't did your walls. All these little exercises, getting these kids motivated to do it, it get them in shape as well as you. So, like I said, man, I'm about to go hit this. I got to get up early tomorrow. I got 2 jobs to do. I got to hit this I got to hit this 5 to 9 tomorrow. I got to go help build this wall. One of my partners. Then I got to go lay some tile. After that, I'm trying to hit all this stuff before the new year. Then my wife, she pressured me about going ahead and finish our floors. I'm like, man, this handyman stuff is good, but it comes at a cost, man. You constantly working. That's a good thing. But when it comes down to it, my aunt keep getting on me about getting some rest. I told her I'm going to rest. I'm finna get about 20 minutes and I'm going to get to it when I get in this house. But shout out to everybody that came through. Hey, man, plan your new year. Plan your new year. Get some things straight already now. So by the time the new year comes, you already know what you're doing. In the groove of things, I've been procrastinating all year with stuff. Man, like me and Gold P, we talk. This dude, it's 9 laws of self-govern, and I told him, I said, man, that discipline, man, that's getting me. I said, man, I could stay the course with all those other laws. That discipline, because that discipline, it goes far, man. It's not even just with discipline, to stay in the course with your discipline. That's the biggest. You can have discipline and don't eat a lot of food, but stay in that course and not having those cheat days and all that stuff. That's a heavy discipline. A lot of people can't do that. Stay in the course with this financial thing now. I'm building up this thing to where we can pay our bills. Shout out, like I said, I gotta do some more work with this app before I give it to y'all. See how this app work, because whenever I try to introduce something to somebody, excuse me, I want to test it out myself. So if anything, I'm gonna warn you of the kinks. I'm gonna warn you of the problems that I've found and I've seen, to where it can kind of help you and best suit and benefit you as well. So basically, I'm looking all into that now, and hopefully, if I can get all this stuff like going into the new year, I'll let y'all see it. Because like I said, it's basically working on your finance. Anything that you have that, as far as your finance, is showing you how to pay it off. It's showing you can use your regular money that you already have to, kind of suit, you know, help you benefit this. So, but once again, I'm, finna get off this time. Shout out to everybody came through. You know what I always say? We here and we gone.